Last time on Spyro the Dragon, Titan, leader of the Peacekeepers, gave us a very important mission.
Recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
And so, on top of all the other dragons in need of rescuing, Spyro set forth to collect every bit of treasure around Peacekeepers, Dry Canyon, Cliff Town, Ice Caverns, Dr. Shemp, and Night Flight. And so, with 3,000 treasure in total, Spyro was finally ready to set forth for the Magic Crafter's world. And so, the adventure continues. Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Spyro the Dragon. And today, as we set foot into the Magic Crafter's world, we'll be introduced to our main task for this world straight away. Retrieving the dragon eggs from those pesky blue thieves. In fact, we've already gotten the 5 eggs we need to proceed, but again, this is a perfect playthrough, and besides which, our resident leader here will reiterate our future tasks for us.
Welcome to Magic Crafters. I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
Release the dragons, recover the treasure, and retrieve those eggs from those pesky blue thieves. Those are the tasks that Cosmos had actually presented with us. And yeah, this is something, if we do not work on Magic Crafters, that will come back to haunt us. In fact, even if we could move on straight away to the next world, we won't be able to make it very far, and we'll eventually would have to backtrack. Yes, even if we 100% all of artisans and peacekeepers and beastmakers and just the Magic Crafter's homeworld, we still would not have enough dragons rescued to make it to the 5th world. And from that point, we would be in serious trouble. So yeah, we still have to explore this world and complete some of the levels. In fact, the final couple worlds leading up to the final battle against Nasty Nork have very stringent conditions for making continued progress. Okay, we just took out a really easy egg right there. And I meant to use that turbine thing to kill this guy, but it failed. So I had to go around and kill him this way. Anyways, we just have to climb up this hill, the supercharge ramp, recover the treasure, and then release this egg.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent.
Go ahead, try it.
So I met the dragon. So yeah, we just used the ramp for the supercharge, and yeah, we completely missed. Stupid D-pad. I can't steer Spyro properly with the D-pad. Sure, if you want super precise inputs, I would recommend the D-pad with old PlayStation games, but Spyro definitely needs to be played with an analog controller. Let's go rescue another dragon.
This portal leads to a special place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
I decided to skip ahead back to this ramp because I kept screwing this up. Yeah, we still needed to take out that chest. That's still great. And of course, because I don't have analog stick, I keep missing the smaller targets, even at point blank range. Again, because I can't steer my movements properly because I'm using a D-pad, because my PS2's not working. Yeah, this really sucks. And the game's still beatable. Another game I'm going to talk about soon, which is Crash Bandicoot Warped, is also beatable and perfectable with a D-pad. In fact, by and large, Crash generally controls better with the D-pad, whereas Spyro controls better with an analog stick. That's my saying. But there are areas where you probably would rather have the analog stick in Crash Warped. So we got the key, so all we have to do now is glide into this cave off to the side. And a bit of trivia, the Magic Crafter's homeworld was actually where the title screen is supposed to be set in. However, I have no idea where the platform that Spyro winds up in would be located, since no location in Magic Crafter seems to be a perfect match for the platform at hand. So I'm guessing it must be somewhere out of bounds. Or that's a completely different map. Anyways, here's our first realm, Alpine Ridge. So, I gotta tell you something about a certain enemy. Those guys. Oh, I killed them a little too quickly. I tend to be a little bit too efficient to pay attention. Yeah, these guys, I'm guessing it's supposed to be their tail, but it clearly looks like, from the front when you see them laying on their behind, it makes it look a bit like one-eyed dragon. So I'm torturing so Spyro the Dragon is torturing a bunch of one-eyed dragons, so to speak, that are just hanging. Another name I would call them is Yellow Rockets. Yeah, sorry, I get they're meant to be like a little bear, like little bear tails.
Spyro, you're not afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
I didn't think so.
Jeez, from the sound of it, I would have thought that you were a big fan of the one-eyed monster. God, sorry, you sound just so posh with the Insomniac voice sounds so bloody posh. So that you could have, there's like, come on. I know it's like Gen 5 graphics and whatnot. It's supposed to be a tail, not, and not, and not a little prick. I kept screwing that one up. Don't worry, I actually get better and better at this. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just say I haven't died yet. But that's gonna change. In fact, I'm actually gonna, spoiler, I'm going to end up dying, quote unquote, twice. And by twice, I mean I exit out just before I cross the death plane and farm for some extra lives off screen. I do so twice. So look at this one-eyed monster roar. And look at that one-eyed monster. It's just popping out. Right as it's gonna be. So first death right here is miss the jump. And I had another death off screen, but that's a little bit of a ways away. So not here and not here either. It's the next platform moving up and down because of those druids who insist on moving everything in sight because trolls. But I already ended that death out. So yeah, so sequent playthroughs, I was able to breeze through those wizards just fine.
Oh, thank you for releasing me.
Like 5 thank you for releasing me so far, or I guess 3 in 2 or 3 in the Reignite trilogy, because they actually took the time to spruce some things up. Thought there might have been fire behind me, but there isn't. So here's more of these giant willies. Alright, yeah, see, you could see that was meant to be a tail like a little bun. But to be fair, it looks more like a little John. A little Dicky for us. There's more Dicky, and we take out the green druids. And there's a pair of, and here's a pair of Chads and Tyrones. Sorry, I'm sorry. As a kid, it just bugged me. Just look at a little dub just hanging out between their legs, and you don't see that's the tail because it's always from the front, and because you see it from the front, it's like you can't ever see it. It looks like a couple penis. Those giant things have penises.
Great work, Spyro. If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter world.
Alright, enough dick jokes for one episode. Even so, we won't be running into any more of those giant yellow-bellied beasts anymore. So my initial plan was to glide to the plateau on the left, but then I realized I probably wasn't going to make it, and even so, I don't know if I'd make it here.
Remember that these blue thieves haven't stolen eggs only in the Magic Crafter world. Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
So yeah, you look at the plateau and you look at where the platform we landed on, I don't think I would have made it on here. I chose to land on that plateau first. Decided to take care of the blue thief. This is the only level in Magic Crafters with only a single blue thief. All the others, including the homeworld itself, has 2 blue those thieves with the dragon eggs. Not counting the boss or flight levels, anyways. So I'm saving my game just to be safe because this is the most dangerous section of the whole level. Like, we can't even way on the edge of the platform because the blast radius. We'll try to turn around first. The blast radius from those crates are too large for us to just ram into damage abuse and then take the gems without backtracking, so I chose the safe and logical route through Alpine Ridge, and we are now ready to go, having 100% yet another level. And of course, I'm going to go around the Magic Crafter's homeworld, farming for extra lives, so I'll be right back. And here's an extra life. And now we're back right outside High Caves, aka the place where we can really explore thanks to the supercharge ramp, among other things. But first we have to deal with just an ordinary level. We don't want to go into the spider cave yet, because those are very nasty enemies that will chase you down as soon as you enter their little end caves. And we can't kill them yet. Meanwhile, there are plenty of gems for us to get, as well as a dragon, if we take this route. Too bad we got hit by a tornado because I wasn't thinking straight, and I'm going to tell you something. I may get some excuses with regards to my controller and the fact that I have to roll out a D-pad, but I will also admit that I am pretty rusty with this game. It was a real long time since I've played the original Spyro game, and I'm still kind of used to reignite controls, even though they seem so alien to me. Anyways, I have no need to skip back to the top. I can just rush right up to the dragon.
Please do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
So yeah, I already mentioned the green druids just moving everything in sight, but it is kind of interesting just how much more dignity the Toys for Bob is willing to present some dragons, while stripping a few others of some dignity as well. Though, to be fair, the ones who are stripped of dignity are probably mostly the more forgettable ones. You know, the ones that go, "Thank you for releasing me, thank you for releasing me. It's great to see, but I've got to go." Oh yeah, sorry, spoilers. Alright, I'm just gonna cross this one. Even though I didn't take the Spark Cave, let's free this dragon.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong, like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Okay, so the game here just assumed that we just went through the caves and suffered a lot because of this. But this is a very important hint because we can use the supercharge ramp to kill these giant spiders. I thought maybe I could try to jump up to the higher levels and use the supercharge to kill more of those metal spiders, but no. Alright, so yeah, I decided to take the route the intended route to take out those spiders. Right back to the beginning. So now we can pick up these gems in peace. Though a bit of a tip, when you are about ready to wrap up the high caves, if it turns out that you're missing any gems, chances are the gems that you missed happen to be inside the spider cave because you might have missed one or two of them while trying to supercharge your way through them. So yeah, we have to kill these druids. I have to be careful to not stay on here too long. And here's a little sneak peek. You saw this balcony before, and now, with the thanks to a fairy's kiss, we have a super flame, though only for a short while, and it'll be just long enough for us to take care of these two guys. Yeah, go figure. And we could have taken out this guy too if he wasn't dead already. So before I can use the super ramp and show off the real appeal of the high caves, you know, I'm going to use it again so I could speed my way through. Ooh. Oh, he took two of them out. That's cool. So yeah, that's actually a neat little trick we could pull off. And now we can take out these crates. And yes, I did say every other world outside of Alpine Ridge, as well as the flight and boss levels, have 2 dragon eggs. And I also said last time that that the most any level can carry between dragons and dragon eggs is 5. Meaning if there's 2 eggs, that means there are 3 dragons. If there's 1 egg, the most there can be is 4 dragons. And if there are 0 eggs, the most you can get is 5 dragons. Though, to be fair, only 2 levels in the entire game has exactly 5 levels. This does mean that the high caves is in a weird 4-way tie for the most amount of stuff to collect. So yeah, we can use the supercharge, get on top of the jump to the very peak of our ascent, and then glide down. And we're gonna try to use the turbines here to take out the blue thief here and get a really easy dragon egg out of it. Don't need to chase him down. When you have one of these turbines, gotta try to aim it. I only have 3 chances to aim this thing. And we got him. Sniped him. That means there are only 2 dragon eggs left in the entire game, and they're both in the same level too. Left in the entire game. So, now we're going to use the supercharge to go into those 2 caves in the middle. I'll start here because it goes in the big circle, and I completely screwed this up. And I fail to realize that I never picked up that gem that... I literally saw this after I recorded the footage, Sparks did not pick up the gem, even though I was fully expecting him to do so. So now we go into the cave on the left, and this is the moment of truth. Do we have every single gem in the high caves? Sick. He's out, and no, we are missing 5. Stupid 5.
Try combining supercharge with jumping and gliding, and really explore the high caves.
So what I said before, I'll say again. If you're missing any gems, be sure to check the spider caves. And the reason why is because when you're moving super fast, it's very likely that you might have missed a couple while going through it via the supercharge ramp. And I'm not joking. So right now I'm just swerving just to make sure I don't miss anything. And so yeah, okay, I noticed this shiny thing, and there it is, the final 5 treasure in this level. We've 100% yet another level. Now it's time to exit out. And once again, we are gonna go right back into Fight for Lives before heading on to the next level. So be right back. Took out 2 for 1, but then a glitch happened. I corrected the glitch, and now I got an extra life as a result. And now we're ready to take on Crystal Flight because it's the next level that we can run into, and our objective is to obviously go through all 4 obstacles and get everything all at once. That is the objective every time we do one of these flight levels. Alright, I was just checking because I saw Grace it, and this is when, yeah. It looks like I have to be pretty much dead on balls accurate with where I'm going through these rings, because depending on where I'm at, the game may not register as I was going through. Now, I have commented in the past about what I don't like about the physics of Reignite Trilogy. It's that Spyro is a little heavier, he's a little harder to... It takes a little It is a little harder to steer, and oh yeah, gravity just sort of snaps you down into whatever surface you're close to touching, too, especially in the flight levels. Now, okay, that was a bit ironic. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I might not be able to get through all this in time, but I might as well try. These airplanes give us extra 3 seconds. And we still have the edge of chest right after that. So yeah, spoiler alert, we go through them. But yeah, if I was playing this in Reignited Trilogy, the strategy is to try to fly as close to a surface as possible, because it causes Spyro to speed up exponentially. But if you try to do that in Reignited Trilogy, what more often than not happens is that Spyro snaps into whatever surface he's flying over, which often results in a ton of wipeouts. Sorry, I was too taken up by this discussion here. Anyways, I gotta skip ahead and farm for more lives. And more lives. Oh, an extra life right behind me. Don't want to forget about that. And might as well pay these guys back. And now we are... Ooh, another extra life. Alright, scoured through a whole level. It's now time for us to take on Wizard Peak. So yeah, as I was saying, is that the gravity in Reignited Trilogy just sort of causes you to snap to whatever surface you're flying above, which makes certain flight and speedway levels way too unnecessary across the original trilogy, way too unnecessarily difficult to complete. Like, they are just really, really hard because some of the obstacles you need to take out are literally on top of the water, and you need to go through them or torch them. You either have to torch or go through them. But because you're just above the water, you go just a little. If you're a little too close, you will just snap into the water and you wipe out automatically. So yeah, that's kind of a faulty physics engine in Reignited Trilogy. Look, let's say that the Reignited Trilogy is a bad trilogy of games. I'm more than willing to do a perfect playthrough of those 3 games collectively. Heck, I'm going to go out my way to say that I prefer a Reignited version of Spyro 3 than I do the original. Yeah, that's kind of sacrilege, I know, but it's true. I think the game actually plays a lot better, and Spyro 3 actually plays a lot better in Reignited Trilogy, and you don't have to deal with that obnoxious this difficulty mechanic where the game adjusts the difficulty settings and makes it really hard if you happen to be really good at the game. And really, you just want to chill and have a good time. Spyro 3 Reignited does away with that altogether. It's just a singular curved baseline difficulty setting all throughout. Unfortunately, there is, to my knowledge, no anti-piracy mode, which is also known as damn near impossible difficulty setting. Where if you get hit a single time by the final boss of that game, the game will basically wipe your save file and start you all the way back at the beginning of the game. So those would... more treasure, let's free the dragon.
Welcome to Wizard Peaks. This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
Oh, there's a lot more to it than just bashing wizards, Jarvis, because this is probably the first major skill check in Spyro the Dragon as far as attempting to 100% this game is concerned, or 120% complete, I should say. But you need to 100% the game before you can 120% it. Because we need to use these supercharges, double of them, in order to jump right here, time it, and then go into a glide. I mean, it's not that difficult, but if you don't know the solutions, or because you're just a dumb little kid, you might not know it either. Anyways, we can hear the blue thief laughing, which means he's hiding here. Luckily, he will not make any attempt to run away from you, so this is an easy kill. So we have to glide all the way over here now, because it's the only way we can get back safely. Let's kill this blue wizard, and then this Yeti, this abominable snowman, I would say. Abominable snow orc. Yeah, that's more like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and collect this treasure and then rescue this dragon. Another thank you for releasing me, it looks like. Never mind, I'm gonna go get these treasures first, and then I'm gonna go rescue the dragon, who will say thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
I'll go back to Fern Gully. Unfortunately, no, he was not voiced by Tim Curry. This time around, he is voiced by Clancy Brown. And apparently, Insomniac could not afford Tim Curry, who by that point in his career basically took up full-time voice acting. I mean, he still had a couple live-action projects here and there, but by and large, I haven't seen him physically in anything in a while. Wait, another supercharged ramp to land here. No blue thieves this time around, and no dragons, of course, but still lots of treasures. And yes, you don't actually have to come here at all in order to beat the game proper, but if you want to accomplish everything the game has to offer, or at the very least sell for 120%, you gotta go here first. And yeah, and keep in mind too that Spyro 1 does not require any backtracking. The only reason for backtracking is because there's a lot of secret places you might not think to check the first time around, or requires a certain skill check in order to reach certain places that you might not have quite yet. So I do kind of like this and I can understand the design, the overall level design, the appeal of that, and that is the final dragon egg. Kind of anticlimactic, but there you go. So I can definitely understand why so many people would rate this as the best Spyro game, the first one. Honestly, I would say Ripto's Rage is the best one, and others would even say Year of the Dragon, though that's probably not as popular a pick, not least of which because it never made its way into Japan, in spite the title being Year of the Dragon. Anyways, once we collect the final bits of treasure, one last count, and then I'm going to rescue the dragon.
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the artisan home. It is at the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan home, waterfall. Sounds good.
All that's left is the boss of the Magic Crafters himself. Because we have 100% absolutely every other world in Magic Crafters, and now we are over halfway done, which is kind of impressive considering the fact that we have all 12 dragon eggs and have more than half of the total number of dragons in the game. 45 out of 80. So just skip ahead for an extra life. And now we're ready to take on the boss level, Blowhard. And like all other boss levels, there is exactly one dragon for us to rescue. Because this is a boss level. There is one tiny difference though, which I will get into in just a bit. Actually, tiny bit difference. Yeah, you saw right there. Even that distance was still too close. The blast radius of those crates is very wide. Wow. The wizard actually missed me just as much as I missed him, both in point blank range. Narrowly dodged that. I'm gonna try to take out that wizard first, and then I'm gonna go for this chest. I'm gonna hide down here because the boss Blowhard just summoned a thundercloud, and I'm gonna flame him. When he summons the thundercloud, is the best. Okay, that was the first big difference, is that we actually got to round 1 against the boss before we got to free the one and only dragon of this world. That is the first of the two differences. The second difference is that the dragon question doesn't have any advice for this boss at all. Don't believe me?
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
Okay, Alter, you may not have had any advice whatsoever for Blowhard, but you definitely helped provide Spyro with a really good sound clip. I want to reuse that sound clip sometime again in this perfect playthrough, because it's actually really, really funny. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Ooh. And because I'm so close, he will not come down until I'm a bit of a distance away from him. I have to hit him, and I have to jump and hit him. So I took a lot of unnecessary hits from Blowhard and got punished for it. Okay, one of those hits was actually from the crate, the explosive crates. The other hit, only one of those hits was Blowhard. And look, I hate it when one of the gems just flies out of frame like that. Okay, we got all the gems. We freed the lone dragon. All the eggs are accounted for. Time to return home, and after one last extra bit of grinding for extra lives, I'm going to board the balloonist. Actually, first I'm gonna try to... Wait, extra life, never mind. I'm gonna try to restore sparks, and then I'm gonna skip ahead. More extra lives. And now we're all set. With all 12 dragon eggs, I believe we are, and all the dragons and treasures obtained and freed, I think it's now time to make our way to Peacemakers. Thank you, Spyro, for recovering so many of our dragon eggs. Hop aboard for the Peacemakers world if you're ready. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Mike Gorin, sign out.